Hello there, this is Ty the Movie Guy, and I just got back from seeing the brand new MCU movie, Captain America: Brave New World. Will it hold up as good as the past Captain America movies that I hold so near and dear to my heart, or is it as disappointing as people are calling it? And with all that said, let's talk about it.
Fire, you son of a great power comes great responsibility.
My brother and a
You do this all day.
I am Iron Man.
Why so serious?
Now I am the comeback. The destroyer of worlds.
So surprisingly enough, for an MCU movie, I don't have too much to talk about. All I really got to talk about is like the characters and then my big major kind of flaw with this film. And with the characters, of course, we have to start with Sam Wilson, Captain America, our brand new Captain America. And all the way back in 2019 at the end of Avengers Endgame, I was totally on board with Steve Rogers passing down the shield to Sam Wilson over to say like Bucky, because you know Bucky's the perfect soldier, but Sam Wilson is like the good person who truly deserves the shield. And then seeing him in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier like debating if he should become Captain America, and then towards the end of that series he of course becomes Captain America, and now he's like in full swing in this series, like doing all the Captain American stuff. I thought all of that was super cool, and just the fact that he refused to take the super soldier serum and he's just like an everyday guy, bar the really cool tech and everything. That's just like such an honorable thing, and it just kind of separates him from like the first Captain America and all of that. And it does get a little bit like iffy where it's like I like that whole aspect of him, that he's kind of just a guy, but then when you see like what he's up against, like with Red Hulk and all of that, it gets a little bit like, should he really be taking on someone like this? I don't really think so. But yeah, speaking of Red Hulk, I think casting Harrison Ford to replace the actor who passed away, the original Thaddeus Ross, I think like, you know, the original actor dying was of course obviously sad and everything, but the actor who replaced him is kind of like the best we could have asked for, because I love Harrison Ford. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. So actually seeing him in the MCU was really cool. I never would have expected it at all, considering how much he like kind of just trashes on Star Wars and everything. Like you wouldn't think he would want to do Marvel, and is that just money? Probably, but it was still really cool to see, just seeing one of my favorite actors in one of my favorite franchises, and also just getting a really cool role as Thaddeus Ross and Red Hulk, just made for such a really interesting aspect of this whole film. But on the other hand, where we get like Harrison Ford, a great actor playing a great character, we also get Giancarlo Esposito, who is a great actor, but he kind of got like the short end of the stick, and he just plays like a rando mercenary character who was pretty disappointing, because like, you know, Giancarlo Esposito, he was like, then kind of castings of him were like all like Professor X and Magneto and everything, and all of that sounds really cool for an actor like Giancarlo Esposito. And the fact that he was kind of just wasted in some random mercenary like the guy he plays in this film was really disappointing. He didn't die or anything, so he could come back in other roles, but he's kind of, you know, once you're one character, you're kind of stuck as that character. So he's just kind of stuck as this lame character, which is pretty disappointing and everything. So, you know, I'm glad Harrison Ford got to play a really cool character, but Giancarlo Esposito definitely got screwed over playing like this really boring character. And he was added in like after the whole film was filmed, they like did reshoots and added him in that. And I know that's like lots of people's big problem with this film, is like all the reshoots and everything. Me personally, I don't know if I'm like not too experienced with picking out like edited reshoots and stuff yet. I didn't notice too many like reshoot problems or anything. I'm just not used to like picking stuff like that out. I did notice like a little bit of like green screen stuff, but I didn't really notice the reshoots as much as most people are picking it out. And then also we have to talk about our new Falcon in Joaquin Torres. I think he's a really fun character. We saw a little bit of him in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, just a little taste of him, and I thought, oh, okay, it'd be kind of nice to see more of him later. And now that we're seeing more of him, he's like a really nice comic relief to Sam Wilson, Captain America, and how he's like learning under his wing literally and everything like that. So I think he'll make for a pretty good Falcon. I don't really like how I don't think there really needed to be like a new Falcon. Like Falcon could have just became Captain America and there didn't need to be a new Falcon, but there is now. So, and that's the Joaquin Torres character. So, you know, he's he's fine and everything, but I don't think we really needed a replacement Falcon. And then finally, our last character we need to talk about is our main villain, who is, I wouldn't really say a spoiler. If you like or keep up with everything like me, you know the main villain was the leader, and he was okay. When I first saw him in like the trailers and everything, and he was kind of came across as like the puppet master, as like Zemo and the Riddler and stuff like that, I was really into different stuff like that. But I don't know, something about it just wasn't as interesting to me. It just wasn't as clever to me as like past villains like Zemo and the Riddler with the whole mind control thing. You know, those other villains, they seem more conniving and clever with their plans. Just mind control is like such a kind of simple evil plan that wasn't as compelling as those past villains. And also his whole design is kind of weird, just with like all the gross bumpiness and whatever. I wasn't crazy about his whole look. I think I've seen like leaked pictures of him from weeks ago, and it just like looked so bad to me that I didn't actually think that's what he was gonna look like, but turns out that is what he looked like, and I wasn't totally crazy about that. So all in all, I'd say most of the characters were pretty good, but like some of the villains were kind of lame. And now it's time to talk about my problems with this film. And I know lots of people are very skeptical about the whole reshoot thing, and I definitely was as well, but now that I've actually seen the film, I don't have a huge problem with it as much as I thought I would. But my major problem with this film is the fact that the leader is our main villain, and Thaddeus Ross / Red Hulk is a core character of this film. And what do both of these characters have in common? Both of these characters are Hulk characters. So why are they in a Captain America movie? This really should have just been a Hulk movie. Like, I know the whole spy espionage definitely fits Captain America more than Hulk, but I feel like if they just tweaked it a little bit more, it could have fit Hulk and would have made much more sense having the Hulk face off against Red Hulk and also face off against the leader and everything like that. Or maybe just totally cut Red Hulk and save him for Hulk and keep the leader, because yes, the leader is a Hulk character, but he does fit the spy thing. But having Sam Wilson, Captain America, fight Red Hulk just feels really weird, having Red Hulk be introduced in a Captain America film opposed to a Hulk film. And I'm praying we get Hulk and Red Hulk face off in a future film. If they don't do that, I will be super, super disappointed. So I'm just praying they actually do that in a future film. But just, yeah, the fact that they introduce Red Hulk in a Captain America film just feels really weird to me. And the fact that Sam Wilson, Captain America, is taking him on just also feels really weird. Like, it feels like such an uneven match. Like, even if this was like Steve Rogers, Captain America, it just also feels weird and such an uneven match. Like, Red Hulk has Hulk in the name. He should be fighting Hulk, and I'm praying that eventually happens. But yeah, just having him in this film felt really weird. Also with this film, I'm so glad. I think they're finally listening to us, and they're toning down on the whole humor stuff that we've been like suffering through the past couple of years. But yes, it's more of a serious film. But now that's more of a serious film, it also just feels more like a bland film, and it doesn't have that zip that all the past Captain America films have, that emotional hook. Like, every Captain America film has that emotional hook to it. Like, the first one, specifically like the ending of each film has like such an emotional ending, with like the first one has like Cap having to like abandon Peggy on the jet, and then the second one is of course Cap refusing to fight his best friend Bucky, and then of course the Civil War is of course about Cap choosing Bucky over Iron Man. And all of those films have such a big emotional hook to them, and that's why I love all of them so much. But this film, it just felt bland, and it just didn't have that hook to me. And I feel like part of that problem is the fact that Sam Wilson, Captain America, doesn't have a tie to these characters. Like, he this is the first time he's met the leader, and he's met Ross before, but he doesn't have the same connection to him opposed to Bruce Banner or Hulk would. So once again, this really should have just been a Hulk film, and they should have just converted the Falcon and the Winter Soldier into the new Captain America movie and like trim it back. And I feel like it would have worked a lot better if, you know, Falcon and Winter Soldier became a Captain America film, And then this film became a Hulk film, and then I think just both of those would have been a lot better if they were just tweaked a little bit like that. So yeah, all in all, this film definitely was disappointing to me. I should have known though from like the very start with the whole reshoot thing and everything, and like all the reviews before I even saw this film, I should have known it was going to be pretty disappointing, which honestly sucks to me because I love Captain America. That first trilogy is just so nostalgic to me and just played such a massive part of my childhood. So the fact that this is Sam Wilson's first movie, and like nothing against him, but just yeah, I feel so bad for the character and Anthony Mackie that both of them had like such a whimper of a start to their solo films and everything. And hopefully he does get a sequel and he does get the justice he deserves. But yeah, I definitely don't hate this film as much as most people do, but it just felt very bland to me, and just putting Hulk characters in a Captain America film just felt really weird. So yeah, all in all, this was quite a disappointing film to me, especially me being such a Captain America fan and everything. So yeah, not a great start to the MCU in 2025 and everything, but you know, hopefully stuff like Daredevil, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four will be better. So with all that said, I'd love to hear what you think of this film, and farewell.